Glen Gary Glen Ross leads, brought to you by listbuilding.com/more leads. Remember that Glen Gary Glen Ross scene where Alec Baldwin holds up the stack of leads in his hand like a bar of gold and says, "These leads are the Glen Gary leads. These leads are not for you. These leads are for closers." Find out how to get those golden hot Glen Gary Glen Ross leads for yourself. I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. If you've ever looked at the stack of golden Glen Gary Glen Ross leads in that clip where Alec Baldwin does his version of a pep talk with a heavy dose of humiliation in Glen Gary Glen Ross and wondered, how do I get leads like that? Then keep watching this video, because that's what I do all day long. I get hundreds of Glen Gary Glen Ross leads coming to me every day like clockwork, and they aren't the run-of-the-mill leads that may or may not be interested in my product, like those poor dudes in Glen Gary Glen Ross were probably trying to close, but actual pre-qualified leads that I know for a fact are interested in my topic and my products. There's one surefire way to make sure your leads are golden Glen Gary Glen Ross leads and not ice-cold stacks of leads that never want to hear from you. And that is for those leads to sign up voluntarily to have you send them more information about your topic or product. A lead that puts themselves on your list, now those are Glen Gary Glen Ross leads if I ever saw them. And those are the kind of leads I get. But of course, as you'll know if you've seen Glen Gary Glen Ross 1 or 2 or 7 times, getting a stack of leads is one thing and closing those leads is another. Remember in Glen Gary Glen Ross where he says, "Put that coffee down, coffee is for closers"? If you can't close your leads, you're not making money. And after all, that's the bottom line, isn't it? Now there are lots of systems out there for getting leads, but do they also close those same leads? Now that would make even Glen Gary Glen Ross jealous. What if you found a system that not only got the leads and got the leads to sign up for you, but are also sold and closed those leads? That's what happened to me when I was in my late 20s about 5 years ago, even younger than most of the guys in Glen Gary Glen Ross. I discovered how to go out and set up little hot lead feeders and then set up another little closer system that sold my leads automatically as soon as they walked in the door. They're like little clones of me doing my work for me. Cloned closers that aren't even human making sales while you sleep. Now that's talking Glen Gary Glen Ross. The age of dingy, sweaty, closing offices is over, and the age of hyper-clean, smoothly operating automatic sales systems is here. Welcome to the age of the internet and one-man operations that bring in as much money as many corporations did in the 80s, a la Glen Gary Glen Ross. So don't be a Glen Gary Glen Ross clone. Find out how to get your own little clones getting leads and sales for you using methods that are 100 times more personal, friendly, and welcome than cold calling customers at dinner time. This is really important. Don't waste time and money learning this stuff from anyone but the best. Get started pulling in your leads on autopilot today, and be sure to visit www.listbuilding.com/more leads. Go ahead and type that into your browser now. www.listbuilding.com/more leads.